how would you describe what tarot card reading is for people who are like, oh, I don't know, man, that's too much. That's just too far out there. How would you describe what it is and why it could be a really powerful tool for people to learn more about who they are?
Yeah, that's a really good question because tarot cards are definitely like the most woo-woo thing that I do and thing that I subscribe to. And like essentially a deck of cards are kind of like pages in a book. And so reading tarot has actually been one of the greatest things to improve my confidence, like my trust in myself, my ability to it's called divination, and divination is a fancy word for a tool that reflects our subconscious. And so there's a little bit of subconscious like magic involved, and there's a little bit of like synchronicity. And so when you sit down to pull a card, when you sit down to ask a question, you're always going to get exactly what you need in that moment. And so this practice, this process has taught me that nothing in life is random. You can sit down and randomly pull a card, and that card is going to have a message for you. Whether or not you want to hear it in that moment, whether or not it applies to you now or in the future or in the past, like the 78 cards, they tell the story of the hero's journey. And so, like, all of us, we incarnate and we live our lives, and we all step into the role of the hero. And along our journey, yes, life looks very different based on you and your lived experience and where you come from and like what you've gone through. But on a whole, there's certain archetypes, there's certain life lessons that we all move through. And so the cards themselves are just a very basic reflection of like the steps that we go through life. And then based on whoever you're sitting with that's reading your cards, that person is going to use their own intuition, they're going to use their own ability to read energy and figure out what seems most important in that moment.